All right, let's talk about it. You met someone. They're attractive, funny, got good energy, and the vibes are amazing. But then they hit you with a political take that makes you pause mid-sip like, excuse me, are you crazy? In today's climate, politics isn't just something that comes up every 4 years. It's everywhere, on our timelines, in our group chats, even on first dates. And when the person you're building something with doesn't see the world the same way you do, it can get real fast. But before you ghost them over their voting history or start a full-on debate at brunch, let's slow it down and talk. Because today, we're getting into how to navigate political differences without destroying your relationship or your sanity. Segment 1. Understanding where the differences come from. First things first, before you go into full panic mode because your partner's views don't align with yours, take a second to ask yourself, where are these beliefs coming from? Because a political stance isn't just a checkbox on a ballot. It's usually tied to a person's story. One person might lean conservative because they were raised to value order, security, and tradition. Another might be more progressive because they've personally experienced inequality or grew up in a household where activism was a way of life. These aren't just opinions, they're reflections of how someone has moved through the world. So, if your partner says something that makes your eyebrow raise, instead of instantly going into defense mode, ask yourself, what shaped that thought? What's underneath it? This doesn't mean you have to agree with them, but curiosity might take you further than judgment ever could. Try asking, what made you feel that way? Or, can you tell me more about what led you to that belief? Because sometimes you're not debating politics. You're hearing someone's story for the first time. Segment 2. Core values versus opinions. Here's a relationship gem for you. Disagreeing on how to fix a problem isn't the same as disagreeing on whether it's a problem in the first place. That's the difference between opinions and core values. And if you're going to make a relationship last, you have to know the difference. Your partner might believe in a different economic strategy, or disagree with how a certain protest was handled, or even vote differently in an election. But ask yourself, do we both believe in fairness? Do we both care about people's well-being? Do we both want to create a better world in our own ways? When the core value is the same, like justice, compassion, or freedom, but you differ on the route to get there, that's workable. That's actually an opportunity to learn from each other. But if the foundation isn't there, if one of you believes in basic human rights and the other just doesn't, that's a bigger conversation. At the end of the day, values are what keep you aligned when life gets real. So tune out the noise and ask, what really matters to us underneath all this? Segment 3. Setting boundaries around political talk. Let's be real. In today's world, political talk can get heated fast. You can go from brunch to battle in 10 seconds if you're not careful. And if every conversation turns into a CNN or Fox News panel, it's going to be a burnout, fast. So here's the deal. It's okay to set boundaries around when, where, and how you talk politics in your relationship. That's not avoidance, it's emotional self-care. You might decide, no political debates after 8 p.m., no arguing during meals or in front of friends, and definitely no doom scrolling and venting right before bed. That's not shutting down your voice, it's protecting your connection. Because here's the truth, when people feel heard and safe, they're more open to hearing you out. Boundaries make space for real conversation, not constant conflict. Segment 4. When to speak up and when to let it go. There will come a time, and trust me, it will come, when your partner says something that stings. Maybe it's a joke that doesn't land. Maybe it's a stance that brushes up against your identity or lived experience. In those moments, you'll have to ask yourself, do I speak up or do I let it ride? This isn't about being too sensitive. It's about honoring your truth and choosing the right time and way to express it. You can say, that made me uncomfortable. Can we talk about it? Or, this topic is close to my heart. Can I share why I feel the way I do? Not every comment needs a full clapback, but if something violates your values or identity, don't bury it. You have the right to name it. The key is doing it in a way that invites dialogue, not defensiveness. And sometimes you do let things slide, not because you're weak, but because you know when to fight and when to protect your peace. That's wisdom, that's maturity, that's love with perspective. Segment 5. The long-term reality check. Can you build a future together? Let's zoom out for a second, because political differences might seem small at first, but over time, they can shape how you build a life together. We're talking about how you raise your kids, what causes you donate to, which communities you show up for, even how you talk about the world around you at the dinner table. If your partner's views challenge you, but you still feel respected, heard, and safe, that's a green light to keep building. But if you're constantly shrinking yourself, silencing your truth, or bracing for impact every time a topic comes up, you have to ask, is this relationship helping me grow, or is it hurting my peace? Real talk. Chemistry is great, but compatibility builds longevity. So don't ignore the red flags or the green ones. Have the hard conversations now so you don't wake up one day wondering why everything feels so misaligned. Segment 6. Choosing connection in a divided world. Let's be real. This world is loud right now. Everybody's yelling. Nobody's listening. People are getting canceled over dinner table conversations. And sometimes it feels like if your partner isn't 100% aligned with your beliefs, they're automatically the enemy. But that can't be the standard for love, not if you want something that lasts. We've been taught that love means total agreement, but maybe that's not it. Maybe love is about staying in the room even when it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's about saying, I see you, even when I don't see it the way you do. That's not easy. It takes emotional maturity. It takes patience. And it takes a deep respect for the human being in front of you, even when you're not vibing politically. Being with someone who challenges you, that's not a weakness, it's a strength. You start asking better questions. You get clearer on your values. And if both of you are growing, not just stubbornly defending your sides, you actually build something more solid than if you agreed on everything from day one. So, what do you do in this divided world? You protect the connection. You say, we can fight for different things, but we're not fighting each other. You prioritize grace. You agree to keep talking. You don't stop loving just because it gets hard. Politics shift, parties fall, headlines fade. But the way you treat each other in those moments, that becomes your relationship's foundation. So ask yourself honestly, is this person someone I can build with even when the world outside is trying to tear us apart? So if you're sitting here wondering, can we really make this work if we see the world differently? The answer is maybe. It's not about agreeing on every single issue. It's about respecting each other's humanity, staying curious when it's easier to judge, and choosing the connection over the chaos. At the end of the day, it's not politics that builds a relationship, it's patience, it's heart, it's remembering that love is bigger than any one debate. And if you and your partner are willing to keep growing, keep listening, and keep showing up for each other even when it's hard, you're not just surviving differences, you're building something stronger because of them. Thank you for rocking with me today, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.